Ladies and gentlemen, folks, friends, everybody, welcome yet another video of the Flask tutorials, Flask web application development series. Uh, in today's video, we are going to be covering flashing messages. Previously, we had covered the implementation with return, and that was just returning a blank page with the whole text. And then we learned in the last video how to do URL for, and today we're going to cover how to do message flashing. Message flashing is pretty easy, and I would say it's pretty fun actually. And it was used a lot more in the past when there, I would say that it was used a lot more in the past when there wasn't fetch. Nowadays, fetch is also used, where you can basically submit post forms using fetch requests and yada yada. But flashing messages was extremely handy back in the day, and still continues to be for our purposes. And is widely used still, both in my applications that I do as well as other people. So we're just going to go to the top, and just as we had done in the previous episode, URL for and redirect were added. Now we're just going to add something called flash. Okay. So how do we go about doing this? Pretty simple. Let's do the login part, okay? Where we had done the return blah blah, we're just gonna wrap that in a flash now, okay? So now this entire statement is a flash. So if the email is empty or the password is empty, then we did flash, you have some fields blank, blah blah blah, okay. Let's go to the login and let's just leave both of these empty and let's hit login, and well, nothing seems to be happening even though we are doing flash. Why isn't it flashing something? Well, we do need one more thing. In our HTML templates, we do need to add how we want to show the flash messages. So in this case, in our login template, for example, we can simply do with messages. I'll just call them messages. You could also do flash messages. Get flashed messages. Okay. We're first going to want to check if there are any messages. So if messages, then we want to display them. Okay. So we'll do, for example, for message in messages. And then we'll end this if, and then we will end this with. And this is the first time we're seeing a with here, but we'll do end with. And there we go. I'm just going to indent these, and we also need to end this for. And hopefully this is easy to follow. And now we can simply do a bootstrap alert, for example. So bootstrap alert. Should we do alert, or should we do... I think alert is fine. So this is what we want to basically display. And so we can just copy paste this, because this is a bootstrap 5 alert. I hope this is bootstrap 5. Is this bootstrap 5 or 4, or it's 4? Okay, we'll just do 5.1. Yep, okay, we can just copy this one. For now, all of our alerts are just going to be the same styling. It'll just have the class alert, alert primary, role alert, and we can simply just actually put the message. Okay, when we hit login now, it'll show us, bro, you left places empty, bro, warning us over and over again. Why is this? Because all the previous flash messages didn't actually end up showing. Now it should be as we're expecting it to be, but it's missing a bit of padding and stuff. So what I'm going to want to do is I will want to perhaps do if messages, then maybe like a father div here or a mother div. And we simply want to do this, and we can do class container. Yeah, we can do container fluid margin or padding 2 maybe. And maybe want to close that div as well. There we go. Okay, it looks much nicer. Okay, and I think, I don't remember, do these have Do these have margin bottoms? Let's try if we flash twice. Yeah, they do. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so we get the general idea of Flash. Now let's implement it with everything else. But before we do actually implement it with everything else, we could, if we want, also do flashing messages with categories. Oh, exciting stuff. How would we go about doing that? We have Flash, right? We have our message. Cool. Now we could also do, for example, danger. Okay. I'm using danger because I'm using Bootstrap. You could use, if you use your own CSS, you could put anything here. This is just to indicate what type of CSS class it should adhere to. So I'm using danger, and I'm going to do Flash. And when I refresh and I do this, it still works. That's good. But if I did, for example, in my login, with categories equals true, okay, and I refresh this and I do the login, it says danger, blah, 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 blah. Interesting. What if I did for category, comma, message? Okay. Then it remains to work as we would intend. But what did we establish? You can see this primary is one of the stuff. Now I could do category here, and we're being passed from the backend danger. So now we're getting alert danger here. In reality, if we were to inspect this, inspect elements, we'll get alert danger. See? If we had passed, for example, in the backend, if we had passed primary, it would come through as alert primary. In Bootstrap, when we change this word here, it will automatically change the styling. So in other words, we can now, depending on like if they logged in successfully, maybe we want to show success, which is green. Or maybe if it's a generic message, we want to show info or primary. If it's not an important message, maybe we want secondary. If it's a warning, we want warning. If it's they couldn't log in, maybe we want danger for it to be read. So this is how that works. So if we provide a second argument to the Flash, then we can use Flash with categories as such, which is what we're going to be doing from now onwards for the remainder of the implementation. So we're going to put this as well in the register as well, and we can go ahead and convert all of these to Flash. So in this one, it says you have successfully logged in, so we probably want this one to be success, maybe. Okay. What else do we have? We have incorrect password here, so this should be a danger because we want to inform the user something went wrong, and this user does not exist, so this can also be danger as well. Okay, I think that's it for the login. So let's go ahead and test that out. So if we log in like this, some fields were blank, something. Okay, some fields are blank, that's what it's checking first. User doesn't exist with that. Let's just do meho@gmail.com 123, incorrect password, but meho login, and we don't have flashing messages here, so we should add that over here as well. I'm just copy pasting this. It's a type of code that really you should have in your template, that your base template, ideally. So when we refresh here, it says successfully logged in. Now you can access the home page. We don't need that. You can access the home page part since we're redirecting now. So we can just delete that segment. There we go. And that should be fine. Okay, let's log out. Oops. Okay. Looks like we didn't fix our logout implementation to do redirect, so I'm just going to do that real quick. Redirect URL for, and just do the home page. I can't type apparently. I really can't. Okay, there we go. So, cool. Now, that's something irrelevant to this video's topic. If you are just watching for the sake of this topic, you can ignore what I just did there. Okay, So we now have the login done. We would ideally want that to be good for the register as well. Again, I want to remove this. You can now log in since we are already going to redirect the person to the login page. And now we can use Flash, and we can basically add this. Some fields are blank. Ensure you have typed them properly. It's probably going to be danger. Someone already registered using that. And most of the time you're just going to use danger, and if there's any like potential issues, you'll use warning. I mean, if you're going to use Bootstrap, that is. If success, then we just do Flash successfully registered. I'm doing success, but I mean, primary is probably more common in the real world to do that type of stuff. Flash danger. Oh my. And just like that, I think we've covered all cases here. Let's try leaving this empty. You've left some fields blank. We will try doing, primus. Successfully registered. And now we can log in using primus. Welcome, primus. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Congratulations, guys. And now we have both converted our app and learned how to use Flash. We've integrated it into our app, and we've also learned how to use it. And our noting app is getting pretty good. In the next tutorials, we're going to be covering template inheritance, and we're also going to be covering what was the other thing we were going to cover? Template inheritance. Oh yeah, and the noting segment as well. So this homepage will have to be redesigned so that we can easily add and remove and delete notes and vice versa. I hope you found this one helpful, and if you did, feel free to give a like. I don't think I've ever said that in the entire tutorial series, just kind of freestyling this all. So I wish you all the best, better day than any day you've had. What an ending. All right, peace out. Looking forward to the next one.